Welcome to a Yoga with Tins Yoga Bite, and today we're going to look at Setu Bandhasana, or the supported bridge pose. So we're going to look at this from a few different directions. So we're going to look at a basic warm-up style pose, then we're going to move it on a little bit into the sort of thing you might see in Hatha Yoga. We're going to have a look at what you might do if you're doing a Yin class or a more supportive, relaxing class, in which case you'll want a yoga block. And then we'll have a look at how you can incorporate it into the shoulder stand routine. And then we'll leave it there. So the bridge pose, as it's known in English, looks like that. You're putting your body into a bridge, so it's a reasonably gentle back bend. Nice for opening up the vertebrae. Just be careful you don't try moving your head while you're in this pose, because that can hurt the neck because you are bent quite high up on the neck. And if you have any neck problems at all and you feel any pinching, just stop the pose immediately. So we're going to start off bringing our heels quite close to our bum, lead on the floor. So if possible, you want your fingertips to just be touching the back of your heels. Now I've got quite short arms, so I can't quite reach. If you've got normal arms, you'll be able to just touch the back of your heels quite nicely. And if your arms are a bit long, you might find that you're just next to the ankle bones. So from here, we're going to do the nice warm-up section first. So just make sure your feet are hip width apart, and on an inhale you're just going to tuck the pelvis, slowly lifting the buttocks off the floor, lifting the hips off the floor, just until you're in a nice straight line from the knees to the shoulders. And then on the exhale you're going to reverse that, coming down one vertebrae at a time until you're back in neutral spine. So just do this a few times with your own breath. Inhaling, coming up, and at the top of your inhale you're at the top of the pose. Exhale, coming down as you empty your lungs, just as your spine returns to neutral. Taking it slow. And we'll just do two more. Just a nice gentle warm up for the spine. Very good if you're going to be going into a routine that has a lot of forward or backward bending, because it just gets those spinal muscles all nice and warmed up in preparation. So this time you're going to inhale up, and then you're going to take your shoulders underneath you and clasp your hands underneath the butt. Now really push the hips up to the sky. So this is the full bridge pose. You might find that your knees are starting to drop out to the side. Pull them in. You want to internally rotate. You want to be pulling the knees in towards each other to keep them in line with your hips and your feet. Another option here is to have the hands under the hips, which really increases that back bend. And as you can see, your chin's drawn quite far into the chest in this pose. You just want to make sure you're keeping those knees pulling in and not allowing them to fall out. Then releasing the hands before you start to roll back down and coming down to the floor. So that's the main pose that you might see in a general vinyasa or hatha yoga class. But you can also do it more supported. So if you take your block, you can have your block on whichever setting feels better for you. So if you want a higher back bend, you'd have the block on the highest setting, medium, that setting, and lowest. If you're really not feeling much but you want to have a little bit of a stretch in your spine, then the lowest setting it is. So, same basic starting position. Then you push into your feet, lift your hips and place the block. So you want the block to be on the sacrum. So it's on the solid bit, so just above the buttocks, on the lower back area where your hips are. And this shouldn't feel painful. You should should have a nice solid surface for relaxing into the block. You should be able to let your body just sink into this. You can have it on the higher setting if you want more of a back bend, but again, should be nice and relaxing for your body. You do need to make sure you're keeping those knees together in line with the hips and not allowing them to fall out. That remains the same, but you're not having to use these muscles to push up. You're allowing the pelvis to sink into the block, and gravity is making that back bend for you. So this is the Yin style bridge pose, or a more restorative. If you're doing restorative, you'd have this block on the lower setting, whereas for the Yin, you're trying to get a nice back bend, but you're allowing gravity to do the work, so you're just relaxing into it. So you might want to tuck your shoulders under just to make it feel a little bit more open in the chest area, but you don't want to be working them, you're just relaxing into it. And then when you're ready to come out of it, you just lift the hips up, remove the block, and lower yourself back down. So, if you're wanting to put this into an inversion sequence with the shoulder stand and the plough, you can start off, just going to come a little bit further down my broom. So you can start off in the shoulder stand, so bringing yourself up. Started off in the shoulder stand, do whichever leg positions you want to do in this, coming down into the plough. You might even do the knees by ears pose, and then you come back up through shoulder stand, and then you slowly bring your legs down, coming into the supported bridge pose. And then you can push back up into shoulder stand and slowly lower back down, or you can come straight from bridge, releasing the hands down onto the mat, whichever feels more comfortable for you. So I hope this video gave you a few different options for using the bridge pose in your sequence, whatever type of sequence you're doing. Even if you're just wanting to have a bit of a back bend because you're feeling a bit hunched up, having a few different versions of the bridge pose might find one that's suitable for you just to release the spine a little bit. Thank you for joining me for this little yoga bite. Namaste.